And we are back. Now, the Chargers, Micah Parsons has just been drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. And we are back for the Chargers pick. The pick is in. We haven't even missed a pick. Okay. The Chargers is going to be an interesting pick. Let's go to the best still. Rashawn Slater all the way. Oh yes, and they did. They had just picked Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, to protect Justin Herbert. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very, very good pick. We've been talking about Rashawn Slater for a long time. He is now a Charger. He is now a Charger at the number 13 pick. Very solid left tackle that has versatility. Didn't play in the 2020 season, and I think both him and Penei Sewell kind of took a little bit of a hit because they didn't play. I really think that they would have went higher had they played this year and not opted out for the 2020 season. But still yet, not a bad spot to be drafted at the number 13 spot, going to a great place with a lot of upside in San Diego. You've got one of the Bosa brothers down there. You've got some weapons in the wide receiving core, and now you have an upgrade to the O-line. You know, they were consistently putting up 30. Thought maybe they might go defense, but Rashawn Slater sitting there waiting for you, just staring you in the face. I mean, yeah, you definitely protect your quarterback whenever possible. That is for sure. Now, with Minnesota, this is going to be a little bit interesting. I predicted that they might trade up. They stayed put. They're on the clock with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Let's see where they, and you got New England at 15, Arizona at 16, Minnesota, a lot of time ticking. Got some good players. Caleb Farley. This would be an interesting spot for Caleb Farley, cornerback at a Virginia Tech, dynamic ball skills, third best corner in the draft. This would be a good spot. Minnesota would do themselves a favor here by getting Caleb Farley. This would be another pick that might be a little bit surprising. Slot receiver Elijah. Oh, there has been a trade. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a trade. Minnesota has just traded the pick to the Jets. The Jets have traded up. Who are the Jets really going to get? Are we looking at Caleb Farley about to be a Jet? We need a number one corner. The Jets have just traded up. No word as far as what the compensation would be. Now, the Eagles gave up a third-round selection this year to the Cowboys to get on their trade when they swapped the 10th and 12th pick to go up and get Donovan Smith. Now, let's see. I think this is a defensive pick. I do not think this is an offensive pick. Vera Tucker, maybe. I mean, the Jets do need interior offensive line. He is the second-rated player on the board. The first, Jeremiah Owasu Koromora, dynamic linebacker. I mean, there is some options here. You could get a dynamic linebacker to go in Saleh's defense. The pick is in. The Jets haven't wasted any time. They have sent the pick to the podium. The pick is on the way for the New York Jets. But the key is, are they going to support their quarterback or are they going to go defense? I got a feeling, I don't know if you really trade up. They probably, I'm guessing, gave up a third-round pick to move up from the 23rd spot to the 14th spot. I do not, it's just a guess. It's not official. I did not see that anywhere. But the Jets have, I'm making that assumption because the Eagles gave up a third to move up to the 10th spot from the 12th spot. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what the Jets gave up. Did they give up a 2? Did they give up a 3? I'm hoping it's not more than a third. Will this be Vera Tucker? Will this be Owasu Karamora, the linebacker out of Notre Dame, playmaker? Or maybe even a tackle, a Christian Darrensaw still on the board. Vera Tucker, an offensive guard from USC. Very good prospect. A people mover on the inside of that offensive line. But do you really trade up to get, it could be a pass rusher. There's Jalen Phillips still on the board. There's Greg Newsome still on the board. But Caleb Farley, in my opinion, the third best corner in the draft class. Probably the last corner that you're really going to see on the board that has the potential to be a number 1 corner in this draft. Normally there's only 2 or 3 per draft, and I think Caleb Farley is the last one. You know, Greg Newsome's going to be a very, very talented corner in this league. But Caleb Farley, I believe, you know, will he ever be a number 1? It remains to be seen, but I don't think so. I do think he will be a very good player in the NFL, though. That I do believe. But this is going to be very interesting. Do they go offense? Do they go defense? There has yet to be a running back off the board, but we are only at the 14th pick. Let's see. We are waiting for the pick to be announced. The Jets, the New York Football Jets, have just traded up with the Minnesota Vikings. The pick is in at the number 14 spot. I'm thinking this is corner, though, all the way. The Jets need a number 1 corner. They've got a lot of other young corners. They're going to need some help on defense. They can help out the offense in the second round tomorrow night. I think that this is going to be Caleb Farley. Maybe a safety, but man, I don't think so. We just paid Marcus May. They spent a 3rd round draft pick last year on a safety who played pretty well. So I don't really see, you've invested at least some draft. I don't see a safety. They're getting ready to announce the selection. The selection has come up on the screen, waiting to be announced. The name is not on the board yet. Whether this is a linebacker, corner, I'm really thinking that this is going to be a corner, though. Let's see what the pick is gonna be. Maybe it's Vera Tucker from USC. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to see if this was Vera Tucker. That would be very, very interesting. If they traded up for an offensive lineman, that would support their quarterback. Let's see what they did. The pick is in. The New York Jets. They have not announced the selection just yet. They're keeping us in waiting. Everybody waiting. So I'm either guessing Caleb Farley or Vera Tucker. Did I just see that correctly? Okay, so the pick is in. It is Vera Tucker, guard out of USC. Very good. Very good. The Jets have made an upgrade to the interior of their offensive line. They drafted Mekhi Becton last year, a big 6'6", 360-pound left tackle. And now you are looking at back-to-back years of first-round draft picks being made to the offensive line. The Jets have been getting hammered on the O-line for years. And now, finally, the Jets are going to bolster the offensive line. It looks like Zach Wilson's going to have a lot more to work with than Sam Darnold. He's got better wide receivers by far. They have loaded up at wide receivers, and they are building an offensive line. The Patriots have wasted no time. The pick is in for the Patriots. They are getting ready to announce the pick. It'll be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. The Patriots have selected Mac Jones. Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. A pocket passer. Just with, you want the most Tom Brady-esque player in this draft? Mac Jones. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but if you look at the play style, they're very similar. Still have Cam Newton in New England. They re-signed Cam Newton, so Cam Newton will probably be the starter this year. Belichick does not like to play rookies. And from there, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Mac Jones wins the spot in the second year, but I don't think you're going to see Mac Jones play as a rookie unless there's injury or, something like that. I think there'll be, Belichick loves competition. So I do think that there'll be a quarterback competition, but I think right now it is Cam Newton's job to lose. Mac Jones, very good pick for the Patriots at the 15th spot. has a lot through for. I mean, had a lot of weapons in college to throw too, but did a great job hitting them in stride. New England still got some work to do in the wide receiver department. They did add Nelson Aguilar, but Aguilar has been, when healthy, he's productive, very productive. So at times explosive. It's just, when is he healthy? Is he available? Sometimes the best ability is availability. It's saying the Cardinals have made the pick at pick number 16. But accuracy, decision making, Mac Jones is, I'm not saying that he's second to none, no. But Mac Jones is a very, he's got the talent. At some point in his career, he will be a very, very good NFL quarterback. And I think he went to the right spot. This style quarterback, Belichick knows how to groom. And Mac Jones is Belichick's style quarterback. He really is. Cam Newton, again, he'll probably play out this year in New England, and we'll see what happens with Cam Newton from there. I'm going to guess the Cardinals pick is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They drafted a dynamic linebacker last year. They may be converting him to a strong safety. A lot of talk. We will see exactly what they're doing with with Justin Simmons, but Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah would be a dynamic player. Caleb Farley would be dynamic. They have already upgraded their offensive line at the tackle position for the Cardinals, so I don't necessarily see them drafting, a tackle. Caleb Farley, maybe. Trevon Moehrig from TCU, a safety, maybe. I could see that. They've added AJ Green, so I don't see them adding, you add, what's probably going to end up be Hall of Fame wide receivers in back-to-back years. I don't see them drafting a wide receiver here. Maybe Caleb Farley goes to the Cardinals. That is very possible. Jalen Phillips, you can never pass rusher from Miami. You can never have enough pass rushers. Another name to take a look at is Jamin Davis. Jamin, underrated linebacker from Kentucky. Unbelievable instincts. Accelerates very well. Another name to kind of throw in the bag. Probably right now the best player on the board is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. All right, it says the pick is in. The selection is Zaven Collins. Excellent pick, linebacker. I didn't guess that one. Zaven Collins is an excellent pick, though. Linebacker out of Tulsa. He can pass rush. No matter what you want him to do. Do you want him to play edge pass rusher, or do you want him to play middle linebacker? He can do either one. He can play inside. He can play outside. He can rush the passer, or he can drop back in pass coverage. Good ball skills and zone when reacting in space. Very, very talented player, 6'4", 260 pounds. And at that size has great range. Excellent pick. Really beefed up. No matter how you want to play him, a very versatile player, extremely versatile player for the Cardinals defense. I know he went to Tulsa, but you watch him play on film and he pops. You can see the talent. Why he went to Tulsa, I'm not sure. But you can definitely Zaven Collins. That could be a blockbuster move. He is another defensive player that could be in there. I'm not saying he's going to win the defensive rookie of the year, but I think, he could be top 5, a top 5 NFL defensive rookie. Okay, so the Raiders are on the board with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left. On TV, they're showing Mac Jones highlights. Everybody's speculating, making Tom Brady comparisons. I wouldn't do that, but Tom Brady is Tom Brady until somebody dethrones him. But right now, Tom Brady is the GOAT. There is no question about that. But Mac Jones is a similar style quarterback. And if Belichick is able to groom him like he did Brady, it'll be a similar result. All right, 3 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock for the Raiders pick. Raiders really taking their time. What could be the Raiders pick? Well, we've been speculating about Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or Koramara, excuse me. Could be. I could definitely picture him as a Raider, but Trevin Moehrig here would make a lot more sense. Safety, TCU, they love dynamic playmakers. He's a dynamic playmaker. They drafted safety in the first round last year at Mississippi State. Moehrig, I think, could play free safety or come down in the box as a strong safety. Really wouldn't matter for him. Very versatile player, and a ball hawk, a playmaker, plays the ball, plays the receivers well. No matter really what you're asking him to do, he's going to make a physical and athletic impact on the game. Trevion Moehrig at a TCU, the safety, right here for me would make the most sense. You might see, again, Caleb Farley, we discussed before as well. Third best cornerback in the draft. Maybe the last corner that you might see that really has the strong potential of being a number 1 corner in this league. Another possibility. They're saying the pick is in. They are bringing the pick to the podium, but the Raiders have officially made the pick. We're just awaiting to hear the results. We are starting to get down the list here. We are definitely starting to get down the list. More than halfway down now. The Raiders are about to be at the halfway point. The pick is in. This is pick number 16. Could this be a pass rusher? Could it be a playmaker? I think it's going to be a playmaker in the defensive secondary. They need a ball hawk. I think they're going to go get one. Trevin Morganwig. They select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama. Okay, that's my reaction. A little bit surprised. I thought Alex Weather. When I saw his game film and I watched him play live, I thought he was a lot better than what he was. I was not impressed with his Senior Bowl at all. He got drafted a lot higher than I thought he would. I don't know if they're drafting him as a tackle or a left guard. I think he's more of a left guard than he is a tackle. Because the Raiders have spent some draft capital over the last 3 years at the tackle spot with Caleb, Miller. And so, maybe they're going to play it on the interior. I think Alex Leatherwood has a lot higher potential. But I'm a little bit like, I don't think they had to draft him in the first round to get him. Now, Miami is on the board at the 18th pick. Or excuse me, the Raiders, the Arizona Cardinals was the 16th pick. That was the halfway point. The Raiders selecting Alex Leatherwood, and they drafted him as a guard. Okay, so they're not drafting him as a tackle. They're moving him inside, and I think that's for the best. I think he'll be, a solid people mover on the inside. It's going to be a bit of a transition for him, but he's a versatile player, very athletic. Especially when you're talking about the inside position. His athleticism is dynamic on if not for a left tackle, but for someone playing on the interior of the offensive line. A lot more interior offensive line going in the first round than anticipated. But that's why we watched the draft. Looks like the Dolphins have made the pick. We are waiting to hear what the selection is, but officially the pick is in. They're just bringing it up. Very surprised the Raiders didn't go with a defensive playmaker, though. Some pass rushers on the board, some corners on the board, some playmakers on the board. Elijah Moore, interesting name. But they go with an interior offensive lineman. You can never really go bad with if you hit on an offensive lineman, you can never go wrong. It's just, could they have gotten better athletically and gotten an interior offensive lineman later on? That's the big question. When you draft an interior offensive lineman up top in the first round, you are really saying that we feel comfortable with our athleticism at every position, and we are going to take an interior offensive lineman. Well, the pick is in for the Miami Dolphins, and the Miami Dolphins has just selected Jalen Phillips, defensive end, pass rusher out of Miami. Dynamic pass rusher. I think he's elite. I think he fell. Him and Greg Rosario both. I think they both have. They're better than advertised. I think both of them have elite skills. I think Miami got a steal here with Jalen Phillips. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't go with maybe a Rashad Bateman or someone of that caliber, but you know, they added premium. They're adding premium positions, pass rusher and wide receiver in the first round. They are going premium. Now the Washington football team at number 19 on the clock with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. We will see. For the Washington football team, here I would go Caleb Farley. You know, they could use some help on the defense. They've got them 5 first-round draft picks on the defensive line, and that's all you really hear about. Right here in this spot, a lot of quarterbacks. Well, we got 5 quarterbacks off the board already. You know, the top 5 quarterbacks are gone. So I go Caleb Farley or a Trayvon Moringwick from here. I definitely think that could be what we are looking at. Maybe a Christian Darrisaw. I mean, you could go a lot of different ways here for the Washington football team. Jamin Davis, linebacker, underrated linebacker from Kentucky. Dynamic acceleration. Traven Jenkins, mauling right tackle out of Oklahoma State. Rashad Bateman would be interesting here. Another weapon to go along with everyone they already have. I think later on you're going to see the Washington football team draft a quarterback. I think it's going to be Kyle Trask, but I don't think it's not going to be in the first round. I don't think Washington's going to draft Kyle Trask in the first round. But round number 2, you could see Washington make a move on a quarterback. They had Alex Smith last year, helped get him to the playoffs in the second half of the season before Alex Smith got there healthy again. They were horrible. Of course, the defensive line was banged up. You know, the strongest part of their team, defensive line was all banged up, but the defensive line got healthy. Alex Smith came back, and they went to the playoffs. But with Alex Smith retiring, that could be a whole nother issue. I definitely see Washington addressing the quarterback spot at some portion of this draft. And the only quarterback that I could see still good enough is Kyle Trask. But with the athletes that are on the board, I don't see them drafting Kyle Trask right here. I think that this is Trayvon Moringwick or a Caleb Farley. The pick is in for the Washington football team. We will see who it is. They are bringing the pick to the podium, and we are awaiting to see the announcement. Okay. Travis Etienne still on the board. No running backs off the board. Najee Harris and Travis Etienne still waiting. Or excuse me, Travis Etienne. Excuse me. I apologize, Travis. It'll be interesting to see what the Washington football team does. They are getting set to announce the selection. Jamin Davis, the underrated linebacker out of Kentucky with amazing acceleration. This kid is dynamic, 6'4", 234 pounds, an off-ball linebacker with good length and outstanding range, downhill run defender, reliable tackler, explosive closing. So when he closes to the ball, he is dynamic. So this will help him, that run defense. So not only will they'll have an instinctive linebacker. He does have some, you put him in a delay blitz situation. So he's got some ability to blitz. You put him in a situation where, he's got to run down somebody. He does have some experience coming off the edge. Very underrated player. Very underrated player. A little bit undersized to come off the edge at 234 pounds. But as a situational pass rusher, I would at best call him a situational pass rusher. His run defending skills is why he was drafted. He does have some ability. He does have a few interceptions, so he does have some ball skills. A good all-around linebacker. He will definitely help out Washington's run defense without question. With some intangibles in other aspects as far as the pass, whether he's pass rushing or dropping back in coverage. Okay. The Giants back on the clock have previously made few trades here. Let's see what the Giants do. Jeremiah Owusu Karamora still on the board. And Trevin Moringwig, TCU safety, still on the board. Kwity Paye, pass rusher out of Michigan. Caleb Farley, corner out of Virginia Tech. Christian Darrisaw still on the board. Interesting. Or would they go with a Travis Etienne? I know you have Saquon Barkley, but if Barkley goes down with injury, who's the backup? I mean, who is going to produce on a level that is going to help you win? They might be able to rotate some backs and get some production, but that is totally different than what Saquon Barkley gives you. I'm not saying Travis Etienne is going to give you what Saquon Barkley gives you, but it's going to be better than any other running back on the Giants that the Giants currently have. They have added some weapons, so it'll be interesting. Kenny Golladay, now a Giant, It would be interesting to see a Rashad Bateman wide receiver out of Minnesota. But I really think it's going to be Caleb Farley. If I was to guess, if they added another corner, they would have some really solid depth at corner. He would help solidify that back end. But the Giants are known for linebackers. And Jeremiah Owusu Karamora is falling. But does he make it out of the first round? That'll be interesting. I think Baltimore will draft him. He is a Baltimore Raven all the way with his play style. So I don't think he'll fall out of the first round. But we shall see. All right, the pick is in. Let's see who the next Giant, the newest Giant, will be. Do they go offense? Do they go defense? Elijah Moore would be interesting here as well. Just another name to throw in there. Elijah Moore, a playmaker. He plays slot receiver, but he's dynamic. His elusiveness is off the chain. I mean, he has off the charts elusiveness. Every play, he is a threat to score. The Giants have sent the pick to the podium. The pick is officially in. We're just waiting for the announcement. All right, rocketing through the first round. We're on pick number 20 with the Giants. The pick is in. The announcement about to be made. Only 12 picks left. A lot of talent in this draft. A lot of talent. Kadarius Toney is another name over these. Is with Indianapolis and Tennessee coming up. Kadarius Toney and Rashad Bateman are two names that would be very interesting in Indianapolis or Tennessee. Very interesting. Even the Giants, to be honest, Kadarius Toney would definitely make the Giants better. A wild card would be Joe Tryon. Pass rusher from Washington, sat out the 2020 season. Okay, the Giants have just drafted Kadarius Toney. The pick is in. All right, we were just talking about Kadarius Toney as maybe a possibility here. Yeah, the Giants just went out and got a weapon, a bona fide weapon. They added Kenny Golladay. They went and added a bona fide weapon to the offense to assist their young quarterback. Very, very interesting. Yeah, the Giants have really tooled that offense for success with Saquon Barkley coming back. The Giants will be a lot of fun to watch this year, if nothing else. Some interesting names still on the board. Caleb Farley and Trevon Moringwig. Definitely a surprise to see them still on the board. But is this where Caleb Farley would go, or Elijah Moore, a weapon very comparable to a Kadarius Toney? We'll see. We'll see. Caleb Farley would definitely be a scheme fit for the Indianapolis Colts in a zone type of system. Very surprised that we're at pick number 21 and only 2 corners off the board. Very surprised. But Indianapolis, the Colts are on the board with 5 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock. A lot of interesting names still on the board. Ronnie Perkins, Joe Tryon, Asante Samuel. And again, I'm really honestly, I know he's a running back, and I know, they say running backs aren't important anymore, but Travis Etienne from the running back spot, an absolute weapon. I definitely think, whether you use him as a third down back or a rotational back, definitely the type of running back that could score 15 to 17 touchdowns his rookie year. And especially now that we're getting down into some of the better teams. I mean, I picked number 21, Indianapolis. Travis Etienne as a Colt would be interesting. I think that he would definitely help their offense become more explosive, without question. But the Colts are already loaded at the running back spot. So, they have Jonathan Taylor from a year ago, and it seems like every year they add a running back in the draft. So they do have some talent at the running back spot. We'll see what they do. Rashad Bateman as well, wide receiver out of Minnesota, definitely could help. But they drafted Rock Ya-Sin a few years back, so we'll see. Really, Caleb Farley and Rock Ya-Sin, that's a pretty solid combo right there. They could go free safety, as we were talking before, with a Trevon Moehrig. They already have active linebackers, speed linebackers. So definitely a scheme fit with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. But we shall see. I think no matter what the Colts do here, as long as they don't get too crazy, they're definitely in position to help themselves, adding another dynamic player in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Looking for any updates. Okay. Let me go and see if I can see what the Jets gave up to move up. The pick is in for the Colts. The pick is headed to the podium. But the pick is officially in. We're just awaiting the announcement. Okay, so there is an update. The Jets gave up 2 number threes. The Jets gave up 2 number threes. I love the pick of Vera Tucker, but I do not love giving up 2 number threes. We do have a fourth. Looks like we got a they gave us we swapped the second. We gave up the second overall 3rd round draft pick, and they gave us their 4th, and we swapped our 3rd and 4th round draft picks. Oh my, that is a lot. Vera Tucker is a good player, no question about it, but that was a lot that was a lot. But we did need an interior offensive lineman, and we made the move. I think Vera Tucker is going to help the Jets. That was just a lot to give up to go get him. But if he ends up being a plug and play player for the Jets, at the end of the day, it'll be a good move. All right, we are still awaiting the Colts pick. The pick is in. They are waiting still to announce the selection. All right. And with the Colts pick, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break.